Hey, what's up, man? I'm Lord Mav. I'm new here and whatnot. Alright, so this is my history. I'm gonna get to you real quick. So my son got me into this Fnaf stuff about 2 years ago. Yes, I'm a grown man. Matt Pat taught me all about it. He drove me crazy with his last timeline. I ain't like it. I'm gonna be real with you, I ain't like it. It was a lot of speculation and real life events being thrown into it, even though it's a fictional property. You know what I'm saying? So I've been feeling kind of empty lately on some Fnaf theory emptiness. You know what I'm saying? I've been Fnaf theory deflated. But I think I finally got some excitement. You wanna know why? Because I found a theory that nobody else been talking about, and I'm about to hit you with it. Let's go. Alright, so what this is about. Freddy, to me, Glamrock Freddy. Freddy of Glamrock fame. He seems like a friend in the beginning. And people say he had a malfunction in his system and he was supposed to be corrupted like the others. But that malfunction is what made him such a trustworthy ally. But as I watched some random YouTube dude play security breach for like the 10th time, I started to notice some things about our supposed friend that makes me question if he was really on our side. At least in the beginning. I only got 40 minutes of footage from this guy. I'll try to link him. Alright, so this is the first thing that happens, and because it's so early on, I'll give you a little bit of lead up, right? Of course, you meet Freddy. You scared of Vanessa. Y'all got to go around and y'all got to get through the place to get through the doors and do the stuff. That's all I got. So the first important moment comes when Freddy tells you that you need to get to the door because it's about to close. Now he tells you that y'all need to hurry to get there. So I assume that there's no time for side quests. But on the way to the door, Freddy randomly says,
"I feel you are broken."
And Gregory says,
"Don't worry about it, I'm fine."
but before any more conversation can happen, Freddy runs to the first aid station. But then it's weird because when he gets there, instead of trying to help you like he said he wanted to, he just ejects you and you stand there. But then what happens? You on your own without any guidance from Freddy, you run into the first aid station and then who pops up? Vanessa. So if you look at it, how it actually happened, it seemed like Freddy told you he was going to take you to the exit. But instead of doing that, he led you straight down to where Vanessa was and then just ejected you from him, seemingly so you could get caught. Now, honestly, what I feel is that in that moment, the only reason you didn't get caught was because Vanessa didn't think to check the curtains. Luckily for you, though. The next important part comes when you're about to meet Chica for the first time. Glamrock Chica, I forget to say their real names. So as soon as you get to that area, it's really the first time that you're about to deal with some issues. You just been walking for the rest of the time. But you get there and Freddy leaves you alone. He says he needs to charge. Now, the issue I take with this is that when you charge with Freddy, it only really takes a couple seconds. You stand in there, it goes, and then you hop out. You know what I'm saying? It's barely even a couple seconds. So I don't understand why he literally needs to leave you to let you go face all of the animatronics, because as you're about to see, you about to face all of them. You know what I'm saying? You might not have to fight them, but you got to run from all of them, and it's not a game. So up until like 20 minutes, Freddy had you walk through an area that held literally all three of the other animatronics, just like I said. And he had to be watching, but for some reason, he doesn't give you any advice. And I know he was watching because he knew the moment that Gregory stepped foot in the security office, which Freddy was also able to control. And he can also work the fast watch, but for some reason he can't communicate out with Vanessa, and I don't think that makes any sense. Especially if she suspects him of trying to assist the kid that she's actually trying to capture. You cut off communication to Freddy, but still give him security clearance to manipulate everything in the building, but the exits, that again makes absolutely no sense. So when you finally get done with all the side missions Freddy done sent you through for no reason, you get to the doors and they start to close as soon as you get there. Now, if you calculate using math, you would understand that if Freddy never took you to the first aid station, you literally would have gotten out already. But Freddy says he'll help you find an exit if he can. But again, here's the thing. Based off what he says later on, he already knows where all the exits are, and he shouldn't be able to forget that information because he's an animatronic. He's programmed with the building layout. He could just help you find another route now instead of wasting time. But for some reason, it seems like he's withholding information. But he's going to do that a lot more. So just, you know what I'm saying? Just like keep watching or whatever. I'm going to start doing timestamps now just because it's easier as a lead on for me. Whatever. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So in about 23 minutes in, Freddy congratulates you on getting into the lobby.
Well done, superstar.
He didn't tell you how to get in, but he lets you know you have to go to upgrade the pass. But he also doesn't tell you where the upgrade machine is, even though He should know. Again, he's kind of just being generally semi-helpful. And I don't know why he's doing it. Like, he's going to tell you what to do, but not how or where to go or why. I mean, he tells you to get an upgrade pass, but gives you no reason. Then turns out you actually need it. Even though the only objective Freddy gave you was to move around and stay out of sight. But then again, based off the way Vanessa checked the first aid room, it seems he would have been better off just waiting right there until 6 a.m. So while walking around aimlessly, seemingly, Gregory stumbles upon a present. He opens it up and it's a magnet. Freddy apologizes. He says it's a lame gift. But in a few moments from this moment right here, you'll get to the upgrade station. The upgrade machine will eat your ticket, and the only way for you to progress is to use that same magnet you just got to get the upgrade. So you telling me Freddy led you to a room with a gift that he didn't know the contents of, to apologize for you getting it, and leading you to a machine he knows eats passes, but you can get a pass using a magnet, and he just thought of that on the fly, and you just happen to have a magnet from the gift he told you to get? You telling me all this is a coincidence? Or maybe Freddy is feigning ignorance for some reason, and I hope I said those words correctly. So at around 30 minutes and 40 seconds in, you get a daycare pass, and Freddy says it's good news. He will meet you at the entrance on the 2nd floor. But he should know that Gregory can't get there without crossing through the daycare. And he should know the daycare attendant has protocols for dealing with children. But he gives no warning about these things to Gregory. Now, I don't know about you, but I know if I actually wanted somebody to escape from a place containing many corrupted friends, I would give them all the information possible. But for some reason, Freddy isn't doing that. Let's see what else he fails to tell Gregory about this daycare. 3250. Freddy says he can't reach Greg and needs him to get a security badge from the security desk so he can let him in. But again, if Freddy is connected to the building enough to know the moment Gregory steps into the security office, he has to have the whole layout of the Pizzaplex programmed into him to function properly. Then how is it that he doesn't know he won't be able to get to Gregory until Gregory literally walks through the front door? 3459. You take the security badge and the lights go off. No warning from Freddy that this will happen, but he does know that the security badge will let him in, and he does know that the generators are in the playpen. So he knows everything but the fact that the lights go off when you remove the security badge from the desk. This is just another moment that straight up looks like Freddy is trying to get you caught by leading you into sticky situations. So at about 40 minutes in, after literally just meeting up with you and having a full battery, Freddy informs you that you need to hurry to get to a recharge station. But he doesn't run there automatically like he did to get you to the first aid station. This time he lets you find the best route in this humongous ass Pizzaplex as like an 8-year-old child. Like, keep in mind, when he left you, I'm being so serious. When you meet up with him, you only meeting up with him because he left you to go charge. Come on, son. So you get to the recharge station, and it happens fairly quickly, calling into question why you ain't seen him in so long. And at around 40:39, Vanny pops up, and Freddy claims to not see her. But here's the thing again. Our vision is his vision, right? We are clearly looking from his perspective, because when you climb into Freddy's chest, it goes from your vision as a child, climbing into his chest, and then it goes dark for a second before you switch how you see. So basically what I'm saying is we see through Freddy's vision. So if we were able to see Vanessa and the glitching through his vision, why is it that he either can't see it or can't process it? Well, I guess it'd be a processing issue, but I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm just asking questions, man. So 6 minutes after you done met up with him, you got to go into a small door in L Chips. Now, he leads you in there. It's not like I don't know. I honestly can't tell you why the doors aren't opening fully, but I do feel like he should still know. But whatever. You go in there by yourself. 4720. Freddy tells you to go to another security station. Now, remember, his goal right before was to tell you to just chill, move around, hide, don't get caught. Now his plan is to try to send you to different exits that he should have just been doing before. He should have just started with that. So you get to the security door that he led you to, and you realize it's locked. And you know what Freddy does? He goes, how unfortunate. Now remember, this guy has damn near full emotional range. We see it come out many times. The first one that comes to mind is when he's talking about Bonnie. But for some reason, whenever he's speaking about like the surprise mishaps that's happening with us getting out of this goddamn building, he usually has like this weird deadpan or like nearly sarcastic tone that he pulling off. And it's just weird to me, man. It's just weird to me. 4849, now he wants you to go to the other side of the arcade so you could go to a roll-up door because you definitely gonna get out that way. An idea he comes up with immediately, showing again that he does in fact know the layout of the building, and coincidentally, who shows up? Roxy. Now you got danger afoot. So you get to the roll-up door that Freddy directed you to, and that's also locked. And instead of even pretending to be surprised this time, like I think he was before, when Gregory asks him why a pizza place would have so much security, Freddy immediately tells him that it's required safety measures due to past incidents. I almost didn't even want to make this video because 99% of the stuff I'm going to say is just like, hey, Freddy should have known this, and it's weird that he's sending you on these time-consuming missions. So I'm going to try to make this the last time, right? Glamrock Freddy is an animatronic who is programmed to know the building's layout so he can program and navigate it properly. So he should not be surprised by things like locked doors because he can't even get through those doors without clearance. And why wouldn't he be programmed to know which doors he cannot access? If he cannot access it, then why would Gregory be able to access it? Therefore, he is at best wasting time for no reason, just like with the first aid situation, or at worst, he's deliberately trying to keep you in the pizzaplex for longer for some unknown reason. 5028, Freddy tells you to look for another way in without telling you where to go. And you go into the vents to be faced with the mini music man. But it's okay, because you crawl out and you land in the security room. Surprise, surprise, nigga. So 5140, you take the security badge and the alarm goes off. Something that is foreseeable as hell because every other time you pull the security badge, something bad happened. Freddy still gives you no warning. He a dirtbag. I'm gonna be real with you. Freddy kind of a dirtbag. That might be the title of this. But he tells you he can deactivate it. Something he should have been working on or waiting on since he should have known this was already going to happen. You now have to keep the other 3 malicious animatronics at bay, and I know what I said. And Freddy doesn't even instruct you on how to do it. He just like, you got it. So after about 5 minutes of you keeping 3 other malicious animatronics at bay, Freddy finally stops the alarm and claims that wasn't so bad and instructs you to the prize counter so you can get to the fire escape. Now, he done already led you to 2 locked doors. Let's see what's about to happen here. Take a guess. Yeah, you guessed it right. The second you reach the fire escape, Freddy informs you excitedly that you have reached it. He says something like,
You found the fire escape.
and without Gregory even saying that he can't access it, Freddy claims he doesn't think you can access it without becoming a VIP. So whilst he's sending you on this whole journey risking your life, he told you to hide, then immediately sent you out to find security badges in order to make your way to 2 different exits he knew were locked. Are you starting to see why I think Freddy might be a villain? 5950, Vanessa catches your bitch ass. An hour and 14 seconds in, something very interesting happens. Now, I find this part interesting for the single fact that for anybody that made it to the true ends of the game, you would see that in one ending, there's a Vanessa on the ground and there's a Vanessa stuck on the roof while the pizzaplex is on fire. So thinking about this after, I never finished the game. So I watched a couple playthroughs, Markiplier, whatever, and then I went back and I was analyzing things that was happening because remember, I'm here for mostly the lore. So looking at this scene, it was really weird that Vanessa was speaking to you and she was still speaking about what she was originally focused on, which is trying to find your parents. But then Vanny came on screen, and when she came on, it was a split second. So if this is truly a woman who has to change costumes or put a costume on, there wasn't enough time for her to actually do that. Now, I understand that Glitch Trap was a digital-based entity or whatever, and maybe Vanny or Vanessa has the ability to manipulate what a person sees on screen, but it seems to me like she still has to put a costume on. So that part stuck out to me because honestly, it feels to me as if maybe there actually might have been 2 different Vanessas, but who knows? That's just a theory. Okay. Another part that I want you to pay attention to is that Vanny and I believe also Vanessa sit in a black background while they talk on this weird like security intercom or whatever. There's a black background and it's important for later, so remember that. So after that little very important moment, Vanny chases you out of the security office leading to the atrium, if that's what it's called. And when you get to the elevator and are clear of all the actual threat and danger, Freddy finally speaks up. He's got a lot of static and he tells you he stacked boxes up for you to be able to find him. Being that you have to climb over a wall to get him, now my issue is, why did he do this? You have no real reason to make your way to Roxy Raceway right now because your only real objective was either to hide or find an exit. So you're operating off of no real plan. Also, he didn't say anything when you were actually in the office, and it's my opinion that he just assumed you would die in that office, or possibly in the atrium while being pursued by Vanny outside, because she got out of the office almost immediately. which is why I believe he waited until you were fully out of danger to even respond back to you. He said he missed the hourly recharge and he was waiting for Gregory for a while, but if he couldn't get in touch with Gregory and he had no plans to meet him in the security office or even anywhere near it, why didn't he just go to a recharge station? If he didn't stack the boxes and go over to a next side, because remember, the animatronics aren't hunting him, he can do whatever he wants. So all he had to do was leave the entrance to Roxy Raceway, walk a short distance down the hall, and go into the recharge station. This makes no sense. But anyway, he wants you to do something or other so you can go fix the whatnots and get him the parts and services. 11008 turns out, against my knowledge, you looking for a backstage pass. I don't know if he said this to me, but even though I'm not even playing this, I still wasn't paying enough attention. You just zone out with this game. I don't know what it is. So 112:10 or whatever, Gregory pulls up the security badge, sounding the alarm and bringing Freddy up on the screen. Something that stuck out to me was that Freddy popped up almost immediately. Yet the last time we left him, he was powering down to save his battery. So not only did he power back up the moment the alarm went off, but he's also seemingly in an upright position. So he's either sitting up or at the very worst standing. But yet he was just lying down as if movement was a complete impossibility. Freddy says he thinks Gregory fixed his communication, which makes no sense at all because, listen, it just doesn't. Trust me on this one. And what camera is he using to film himself on? And why is it coming with this weird static that kind of reminds me of Vanny on the security room monitors a little bit ago? In fact, where the hell is he? Remember when I told you about that black room Vanny was in before? When we left him, he was sitting directly under a spotlight where most of his immediate surroundings also illuminated. But in this moment, he has a bright spotlight shining from directly in front of his face, while he stands in front of a pitch black background. We find that Freddy is standing because Gregory questions it. Freddy says, consider it a second win. Do I even have to say it? Animatronics ain't got no lungs, nigga. He don't even operate off wind. The fuck is he talking about? Freddy says he'll try to reach the room under Gregory's position so he can meet him after Gregory gets through the floor vent. Now remember, Freddy couldn't move a second ago, but now not only can he stand up, but he can also trek his whole big ass over to a whole nother room. 11308 or so, Vanny pops up replacing Freddy on the screen. But the issue for me is she has the same spotlight directly on her with the same black background, meaning that they have to be in the same place. Freddy claims he can't stop her, which is heard on the monitor still, proving that they are in the same place. And finally, Freddy claims he can't stop her, though he hasn't received any upgrades yet. And the last time we encountered Vanny in the presence of Freddy, matter of fact, in his body, looking through his own vision, he claimed to not even be able to see her, sense her, or even complain about the static that we saw in her presence. I think I'm on to something, y'all. So you get to the stage, and now Freddy's systems are failing again. Oh, no. And it's a good thing, too, because you just got back to the area where animatronics are a problem. So he basically escorted you through the safe areas, then immediately left you on your own again as soon as you would actually need help. You know, for some sort of supposed protector, he sure is out of commission a whole lot. So you start going down the elevator and Moondrop pops up because it's the hour mark. Oh no. So you run to make it back to the recharge station, but Freddy doesn't make it in time and he gets taken by Moondrop. Now here comes the BS again. When we left Freddy, he claimed to be out of commission because he missed the hourly recharge. But for some reason, Moondrop didn't pop up on him at any time between then and now. But he pops up a full minute early to take Freddy this time, right when we meet up with him again. I don't believe it. That's a fishy situation. So you realize you're going to have to go somewhere else and do some more dangerous stuff to go get Freddy from wherever Moondrop just took him for literally no reason. And you pop up on a map bot, or matter of fact, the map bot pops up on you, and it wants to give you a utility map. Now here's where my secondary theory comes in. The theory is, maybe this is really just a game. Like maybe this is something like Princess Quest, but we are playing it in a first-person 3D game instead of a 2D third-person arcade cabinet style game. Like think about it. I know this is a Freddy's establishment, so things are bound to be off business-wise, but nothing really seems to make sense here. If Freddy has been in the know the whole time, but withholding information from you just to waste time, it kind of seems like a sort of a side mission he's giving you. Like I just got done playing Hogwarts Legacy, right? And I'm not really used to playing RPGs. So my main critique was that the story really took place in about 10 missions, while everything else was kind of side missions that affected the plot in no real way, but filled out the time playing the game and might also give you in-game story building, even though it's through telling and not showing, as apparently you're not supposed to do in visual mediums. So an example of this that I can give you from Hogwarts Legacy is, You fly to a random place to pick up something, and you meet a person that sends you on a quest that only really benefits them, but you gain knowledge about the world around you through the dialogue they give while explaining what they need. You also gain things that you might need in further battles later on. Now, on the other hand, in Security Breach, Freddy sends you to a place he knows for a fact will not lead you to what you need specifically, but it will either lead you to getting something that you will need later, or being in a place where you will have the opportunity to gather up information through post-it notes. Post-it notes that pertain to the background of the Pizzaplex that the story takes place in. Things that maybe the people who made the game didn't think to make a physical part of the game, so they settled on just telling you about it. Now also think about the map bot. Why would the map bot be sitting there to offer random people a map for the utility tunnels? Anybody working there should already have that, and under no circumstances would a child be roaming through these parts of the facility. But real talk, I'm the type of person that hates repetition. So I gotta end this because most of my points are gonna be the same. Plus, I feel I've shown why Freddy's actions are a little bit untrustworthy. So I feel from here, you brilliant, probably way younger minds can take the perspective I've shown you and probably do a lot better than I've done here. So I'll hit you with this last moment, then leave the rest up to you and wrap this up. An hour and 32 minutes in the video I'm watching, try to link it below, Vanny and Freddy speak. Now I know this isn't the most produced game in the industry, but I'm counting this shit as lore, son. That Vanny and Freddy did not start talking to each other until the moment you walk through the door. We don't hear them speaking before we walk in, and when we walk in, it seems like the start of a conversation and not a conversation that's been going on already. So again, I know this isn't the most produced game, but it seems like a setup conversation. Now remember, for the last time, Freddy been knowing exactly where you at the entire game, so it isn't even out of the realm of possibility in game for Freddy and Vanessa to know exactly when you're gonna walk through that door.
But wait, there's more!
Vanny works for Burn Trap essentially. His goal is to get out. Therefore, Vanny's goal is for Burn Trap to get out. But the only way for Burn Trap to get out is for you to go through all of this nonsense and gather up all the other animatronic parts to get him out. Because after all, if he was ready to get out and pull a plan the entire time, then why would he wait until there's a bunch of failures in his plan to finally reveal himself? It's because Freddy was actually supposed to bring Gregory down there as a sacrifice for Burn Trap to enter a new body. Looking at everything post Help Wanted, everything we saw in Help Wanted was really just Vanessa getting her mind hacked by Glitch Trap. It seems the actual spirit of Afton was not able to inhabit her body and live on in the same way we saw him do within Springtrap. So he had to devise a plan through Vanny to get a young body for him to inhabit. After all, why would people be going missing in this climate when Vanessa seems to have no general urge to kill? Burn Trap is locked away, and we watch the animatronics become more infected over the course of the game, meaning that they weren't as infected before this specific night. They might have been doing weird things, but they weren't killing people. And we don't free any missing kids by the end of the game, so the only way to make sense of this is to say Vanny was looking for a body for Burn Trap, and for some reason no other body would have worked except for Gregory. Right before Freddy's malfunction and shutdown, he singled out Gregory for no apparent reason, and maybe that's because he was the target of every antagonist in the building, and that includes Freddy. But I know my format wasn't sexy, and y'all probably expect more, but at the end of the day, that's just a theory. Okay, theory.